Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is Arpita, your Ayurvedic practitioner, yoga therapist, and yoga teacher. Today's practice, we are going to focus on cooling that Pitta dosha. So if you are the person who are overheated, tense, fatigue, if these are the issues that you have in a day-to-day life, then today's practice will help you to cool that excess heat, that fire in your body, at the same time will allow you to restore and balance. So let's get started. For today's practice, you will need to have 2 blocks, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to have more videos like this, especially an Ayurvedic inspired yoga class. So let's get started, okay? 2 blocks to begin with. And let's find 2 comfortable seat. So I'm using a block to sit here. I'm sitting in a Sukhasana, so whatever feels comfortable to you at this point. Go ahead and bring your palms to your legs, palms facing down. And then closing your eyes here. Taking a deep, deep breath here. Inhalation and exhalation. We get in a first few breaths to just kind of observe your breath. How am I breathing today? How is my inhale and how is my exhale? Try not to judge, just simply awareness is needed here. Taking a couple more deep, deep breaths here. See if you can take your time and start to make a longer exhalation. So if you're breathing on a count of 4 or 5, then go ahead and increase the exhalation to 6 and 7. And again, just focusing on that breath. When we do the longer exhalation in a yoga tradition, we call this a Langhana breath. Whenever we do that longer exhale, the Langhana breath really helps to get rid of the things that we don't need in our body. So it's a very easy way to calm the system. 2 more deep, deep breaths here. Making that intention that to find that compassion, surrender, and letting go. Cooling that excess heat in your system. Not just in a physical body, but in a mind-body system. And then when you're ready, let's go ahead and blink your eyes open and reach your arms up overhead all the way. Nice. And as you exhale, take your left hand out to the side as we exhale and come into that lateral bend. As you inhale and come back to center, so when you inhale and come back to center, your arms are shoulder width, and as you exhale, come into that side lateral bend. Again, inhale, your palms are facing up, and you exhale here. Nice, breathing in, and breathing out. Let's do that one more time. You can just close your eyes here and go with your flow as you breathe in. Make sure the spine is tall, and as you exhale, find that lateral bend. Now pausing here, staying here, take an inhale breath here. And as you exhale, open into that cactus arm as you gaze to the left shoulder. Again, as you inhale, reach your top arm, your right arm towards the left side of the mat, and you can gaze up towards the sky. And as you exhale, gaze to your left shoulder and your right hand come into that cactus. One more deep breath here. And then exhale into that opening into that cactus arm, gazing towards the left side and just pausing here. A lot of time when we have excess heat accumulation and our neck and shoulder, especially those rhomboids, gets very tight. So this is a really nice way to really help to stretch this area. Take another inhale breath, reach up overhead. And as you exhale, side bend to that opposite side. Reaching the left fingertips towards the right as you gaze up. And as we exhale, gaze to that opposite shoulder, so right shoulder, and you bring your left hand into that cactus variation and you gaze to the right shoulder, you draw that chin slightly in. As you inhale, gaze up. And as you exhale, gaze to your right. Let's do that one more time, breathing in and breathing out. Now pausing and staying here. Nice. Notice that how your right side versus your left side of a neck feels. Very good. Take another inhale breath. And let's come out of the pose. Reach both your arms up overhead. And then exhale. Bring your hands to the heart center. Very good. Take your time. You're going to come out of this pose. Come meet me into that tabletop. Keep your blocks in front of you. We're going to use it later on, but just come in a table where you find those wrists and your shoulders, your knees and hip kind of lining up here. And as we exhale, we sit back into that child's pose. We're going to come into that cat and cow here. So as you inhale, starting from that tailbone, at the end of the inhale, the chest moves away from the belly. As you exhale, that tailbone comes in, navel to the spine, rounding your upper back, chin draws in, and then go all the way back into that child. Let's continue this movement. So you have three poses combined here. As you inhale, we come into that table to cow. As you exhale, you come into that cat first. And at the end of the cat, you sit back into the child. So totally 4 movement combines. Table to cow, and then cat to your child. Nice. Let's do this one more time, please. Inhale, table, round, roll your shoulder head back, chest away from that navel for that cow. Tailbone first, navel second, upper back round, chin to the chest into that cat, and then all the way into that child. And let's pause here. You can bring your big toe and the back touches together. Knees are kind of out to the side, and just pausing here in your child's pose. Nice. Take another inhale breath. Come back into that tabletop. And then come all the way on your floor, on your mat. Okay, bring your fingertips underneath your shoulders. Top of the feet, press down into the floor. As you inhale, lengthen your spine and lift up. And as you exhale and come down. Nice. One more cobra like this. As you inhale, come up into that cobra. And as you exhale and come down. Now you're going to take your fingertips out to the side. Loki's right here next to me, so I'm not going to go too far, but if you have a space, go for it. You're going to roll the shoulder head back, top of the feet, press down. Inhale and lengthen your spine first and then lift, and see how far can you go. You can keep your elbows bent, or you can start to straight your hands. Again, as far as your body allows you to do this. And as you exhale, bring yourself back down. Bring your hands forward, take a gentle rock your side to side. Release into that lower back. So Pitta dosha, the fire element, gets accumulated a lot in that navel center, small intestine, liver. So all these extension poses that we're doing to help get rid of that excess accumulated fire in that midsection. Take your time, come back to table. And as you exhale, sit back into that child's pose. Nice. Inhale back into that tabletop. You're going to look for your block that you have. Bring your block to the right side. Put your right hand underneath the block here. And then we're going to switch into what we call the side plank. So your right knee, right hip, left leg out. Then take your right hand a little bit forward here. Take your top arm, the left hand reaches towards the front of the mat. And as you inhale, again, you're gonna open up here. And as you exhale, basically you're circling your arm here. With an inhale, you open into that Vyana Vayu, the circulation. And as you exhale, gradually contracting the lower abdominal as you bring your arm forward. Let's do this one more time. So we're combining the two movement of that Vyana and Samana, the two Vayu. Beautiful. Take another inhale breath. Reach your left arm towards the front of the mat here. And see if you can bow the top ribs here. So really getting into the lateral bend here. Bow the top ribs here. Take another inhale breath here. Nice. And then go ahead and come back into that table. And then sit back into that child's pose. Beautiful. Inhale back into that tabletop. And as you exhale, bend your knees and come into that downward facing dog. Next, inhale back into that table. And next exhale, sit back into that child's pose. Let's do that one more time. Breathing in into that table and breathing out into that downward facing dog. Take your time as you inhale, 4 to 5 count. And as you exhale, see if you can do a longer exhalation throughout the practice. So maybe 6 to 7 count as you exhale into that child. Let's do that one more time. Breathing in, back to table. Breathing out into that downward dog. Inhale brings you back into that table. And exhale, take you all the way into that child's pose. Nice. All right, come back into the tabletop and let's bring your left hand, let's bring a block to the left side of the mat and bring your left hand underneath the block. So I'm going to switch this side so that my back is not facing against you. And then my left hand is grounded here, my left knee is down, and my right leg is straight. As I inhale, you're going to take your top arm, reach all the way as far as you can. Now let's start here. Breathing in, opening into that front of the chest. And as you exhale, remember lower abdominal contracts as you exhale and draw that right arm forward. You can close your eyes and again, be very gentle with the movement. Remember, we're trying to balance the Pitta dosha. We're trying to balance that excess heat in your body. So you don't want to rush. You don't want to force things here. You just want to be very mindful here. Nice. Take another inhale breath. This time, when your right arm reaches towards the crown, stay here. And see if you can bow the right ribs, bow the top ribs. Nice. Take another inhale breath here. And then exhale. Bring yourself back out. We come back into that tabletop and sit back into that child's pose. Nice. Let's pause here in the child. You can take your hands to the back of the mat if it feels good in your body. Coming back to that intention, coming back to that breath. This is the time to focus on that rise and fall of the breath. How is your breath? Your breath should be long, deep, soft, and smooth exhalation. All right, take your time. Come back into that tabletop. And then step that left leg forward into that lizard. So if you have 2 blocks, go ahead and bring them to the front of your mat. You're going to use it. Bring your left leg forward. Make sure the right knee is down. So we come in a lizard variation, and we're going to do a little bit different movement of the lizard into that fold. So from this position where my hands are resting on 2 blocks, I'm in a lizard variation. As you're going to come to the outer edge of the left leg. So notice how I'm opening into that left hip joint here. And I take, exhale, and move back here. And as I inhale, I bend my left leg, I come back into that lizard. And as it start, I exhale, I take that foot, that hip all the way back. So notice how I'm making that hip rotation, that hip mandala into that lizard variation. Again, be mindful here. It's not about the knee opening to the left side. We never want to open the knee in yoga. It's more about that movement into that left hip, into that hip socket. Nice. And then come back into that lizard. Once again, roll the shoulder head back and just pause here. You can stay on those fingertips here. And then exhale back into that table. And we'll sit back once again into that child's pose. Nice. When you're ready, bring yourself back into that tabletop, and we switch and we come into that right side. So right foot comes forward. As you notice, I come into that lizard variation. I take my right leg a little bit out to the right side. Both blocks comes to the inside of that front leg. And then again, we first establish into the pose, and then opening into that outer edge as you exhale and move back. And you have to be very mindful. Notice how much range of motion you have in that right side of the hip. Again, it's not about the knee rolling out. It's more about, do you have that range of motion into that right hip? Take your time. One more on your own. And then come back into that lizard variation. So you can stay here, coming on your fingertips, roll the shoulder head back. We call this little uplifting lizard pose. And Loki's always in a Pitta Pacifying flow. As you guys notice, his favorite pose is happy baby or Savasana. So maybe do comment what is your favorite pose. As you all know, that Loki's favorite pose is happy baby, or you'll find him in a Savasana. All right, take your time, come back into that table, and all the way sit back into that child's pose once again. Okay, inhale back into that table, and this time exhale back into that downward facing baby step front of the mat. So take your time, try not to rush when you come in a forward fold here. And since we're doing a Pitta Pacifying class, I would encourage you to come a little wider stance. So not of a regular hip distance, but a little bit wider in that forward fold. So my legs are a little bit more wider than my normal hip distance legs in a forward fold. And let's just grab hold of that opposite elbow, bend those knees, and you can take your time and walk a little side to side here. Nice. You can walk your fingertips to the left side of the mat, and we're just pausing here. And then inhale and come back into center, walk to the other side and pause. Nice. Come back to that classic hip distance apart into your forward fold, and then bend your knees and all the way root to rise as you come up. You can look straight in front of you, or you can start to gaze up a little bit. And then bring your hands to the heart center. Again, a time to check in. How am I breathing? How do I feel? Okay, go ahead and blink your eyes open. We're going to start, we're going to come into the long side of our mat. And let's come into goddess pose, goddess variation. So again, a lot of time when we do goddess pose in our class, we sometimes, tend to go too far. So see if you can shorten your stand and then toe heel yourself. And then let's find that goddess. So goddess is all about the knees, the ankle and knees to the hip alignment, right? And be mindful that you are not dumping, your lower back is not in a position that you start to feel a pain here. So as you inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And as you exhale, bend into those knees and bring your hands to that outer knees here. Once again, as you're breathing in and breathing out. Let's do that one more time, please. Inhale and exhale. Nice. Now bring your hands slow. So anytime we're doing a Pitta Pacifying flow, just be mindful that you're not taking your arms too high for a long amount of time, right? We want to ground, we want to make sure that there is not excess heat in your body. So we try to keep our hands low, or we bring our hands to the heart center. Gaze is down. And then go ahead and straight your legs. We're going to come into warrior two on the right side. So look forward, make sure the right toes are facing to the right side of your mat. Look down, make sure the front heel back in step. You have that internal rotation and then coming into that Vira 2 here. Be mindful that front knee is not passing that ankle here. As you inhale, we're going to come into that uplifting warrior 2 today. And as you exhale, side angle. And again, going very slowly, take an inhale breath, reaching up, getting that nice lateral stretch on the right side. As you exhale, you feel that same stretch on the opposite side. So let's continue. Breathing in and breathing out. Nice, look down. Bring your left hand down, come on a ball of the back foot. You're gonna end it up in a lizard variation. Remember how we did lizard earlier? So same pose, the knee is down, right foot is a little bit to the right side of the mat, and then bring your block to the left side so you can use the block to rest your left hand here. You're gonna inhale, take the back knee off, reach your right arm forward, and as you exhale, coming into that nice lateral bend on your left side of your mat. So you get a nice stretch into that lateral stretch, at the same time a mild twist. And then when you're ready, take another inhale breath, and as you exhale, go ahead and drop the back knee down, bring both your hands down and back into that resting pose, child's pose. I would advise you to bring your hands to the back of the mat to release here. You take another 2 to 3 counts of a deep, deep breath here. So breathing in and breathing out. Nice, take another inhale breath. And we come back into that table. We come back into that downward facing dog. And then once again, baby step, front of the mat, bend your knees, root to rise as you come up, and then hands to that heart center. Okay, once again, long side of your mat. And then we come into warrior two on the left side. So trying to avoid as many as a vinyasa flow that we do in our regular yoga class, especially during summertime, because that creates a lot of heat. So we don't want to do a lot of flow into these poses, right? So find again that warrior two. Left knee, ankle, right leg is straight. Front leg, you have that external rotation. Back leg, you have that internal rotation. Take your arms out to the side as you inhale, come into that uplifting warrior. And as you exhale, you're going to find that side angle. And again, you can always modify as you notice. I bring my left hand to that front leg in a side angle instead of reaching all the way down. Again, that will create a lot of intensity, right? So this is the season truly teaches us to back out a little bit. Less is more, we don't have to be always doing everything 100%. It's just a gentle reminder for ourselves. Find that side angle. Take another inhale breath here. Nice. And then go ahead and fold forward. And then again, you're going to end it up in that lizard variation. Remember how we did lizard? So both hands comes inside. You can use your blocks. Left foot is a little bit left side of the mat. That's low key. Snoring that you hear. Take your right hand to the right side. Lift the right knee off the floor. Inhale and reach your left hand forward. And then coming into that lateral side bend. So you get a nice opening into the lateral side. You create a space into that lateral bend. Take another inhale breath here. And this time as you exhale, you're going to come all the way once again to the long side of your mat for your forward fold. And bow forward. Nice. Take an inhale and come up halfway. And as you exhale, fold forward. Once again, breathing in. And breathing out into that fold. Nice. Let's walk to the front of your mat. Drop both knees down and we come back into that final child's pose. Nice. Come back up. Into that seated pose like we did earlier in the beginning of a class, but this time it's going to be soles of the feet come close together and we come into what we call butterfly legs. And then straight from here as you inhale, lengthen that spine. And then exhale, hinge from those hips as you come halfway only. So try not to go all the way into that fold, just staying into that half lift today. Nice. Take another inhale breath. Exhale it here. Do one more inhale, exhale. Maybe you make your exhalation a little bit longer than your inhale for the next one. Nice. Next inhale. Come all the way out. Beautiful. All right, take your time. We're almost getting ready to end our practice. So go ahead and lie back down on your mat. Very good. Keep your knees bent here. And then take your legs a little bit mat distance if you can. We're going to come into that windshield wiper legs. As you exhale, just taking both knees to the one side of your mat. Inhale, come back. Exhale to the other side of your mat. Do that one more time. And then next time when your knees roll to your left side of your mat, you're just going to pause here. You're going to take your right arm, reaches to the back of the mat and just stay here. So we're getting into that lower body twist. But we're not, squeezing here, we're keeping it open. So remember earlier I said a lot of fire builds up in that stomach, spleen, liver, gallbladder. Those are the pitta organ. So we're finding that extension, even the twists that we're doing, we're not, compressing and we're not squeezing our legs to our chest. And we're keeping it open here. Nice, inhale and come back to center. Bring your right hand back down, both hands down, and as you exhale, switch, take both knees to opposite side of your mat, and then reach your left arm up overhead. Take this time to enjoy this twist on the other side. Twists are very soothing if you're doing especially for Pitta, especially for summertime, the lower body twist on an exhale, twist on a longer exhale. Those are great for soothing that Pitta dosha, getting rid of that excess heat from your body. And just like we have food has a post-digestion effect, twist also has a post-digestion effect that is soothing, cooling in our bodies, very calming to the nervous system. So take your time, come back to center, hug both knees into the chest. Then we come into the Apanasana, knees away from the chest on an inhale. Exhale, knees to the chest. Inhale, knees goes away from the chest, the arms are straight. Exhale, bring it into the chest. Do that one more time. And then go ahead and take your time, release, bring your legs out to the side, mat distance. You can close your eyes and just pause here. Finding that few minutes of a stillness, not just in your body, but stillness in your mind. Take your time, bend your knees, roll to one side of your mat, and then bring yourself up into that comfortable seat. Keeping your palms down, facing to that earth element. Keeping your spine tall. Just coming back to that breath, breathing in and breathing out. Bring your hands to the heart center. Thank you so much for taking your time to practice yoga. I hope this practice helped you to calm the Pitta dosha and to restore the balance. I would love to hear in a comment how you felt after your practice. It could be a simple word like calming, balance, letting go, surrender, compassion, if you felt compassion, or just simply superb. That would be a great comment for us. As usual, you have to like and subscribe to our channel in order for me to bring more Ayurvedic yoga inspired video. Until next time, namaste.